What's up, everybody? I'm back, day 2, and if you can't tell by the title already, I already have my first client. Yep. So, fun story. I posted my first video yesterday and shared it with a couple of my private Facebook groups that I'm a part of, and this lovely lady reached out to me, who's a part of an alternative medicine healing business with her partner, who just recently launched a course catered towards other business leaders in that niche. And they wanted to help grow their brand and get traction and get opt-ins into that course. So within her reaching out, we got onto a phone call meeting about 3 to 4 hours afterwards, and I managed to get it all on video. So with her permission, of course. So I got it all on video for you guys as well for me, because I'm sure it'll be extremely helpful for me to look back and see where my shortcomings were. But yeah, ultimately, we locked it in at a $1,000 per month retainer on top of a $500 ad spend. And yeah, for those of you that are wondering, the actual services that's going to be encompassed within that package is helping them with their brand development. I'm going to be helping them develop their funnels, more like tweak them, because they already have funnels in place at the moment. But I'm going to be tweaking them a little bit, adding an email opt-in incentive leading to a list to help them for their upcoming project, which is going to be a higher ticket course, which is months down the road, but we're working up to it. I'm also going to be doing content posting on their social media platforms to help with that organic traffic and just general digital marketing strategies. Yeah, that's about it. So pretty crazy. I'm working on getting all the contractual stuff written up right now, and then I'm going to present it to them tomorrow and we'll start getting to work. But I don't want to keep this video too long. It's already probably long enough as it is. There's an hour-long clip attached to the end of this. It is a very long phone call. For those of you that don't want to watch it, that's fine. But if you would like to actually get some insight as to what someone's very first call with a client looks like for a discovery meeting that ended up closing, I'm gonna post it for you and for me. So for those of you that would like to leave me any critiques, any advice, anything, please comment below. If you guys liked this video, leave a like. If you disliked it, put a dislike. If you would like to see more of this, however, please click the subscribe button, click the notification bell so you can get notified when I make more content. And yeah, that's about it. On to the next one. Hello.
Hey Adam, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Is this Kelsey?
It is.
Hey, what's up? Is it gonna be just you, or is it gonna be you and Vanessa, or how's that working out exactly?
It'll just be me. I kind of handle this portion of everything, the marketing side of things.
Oh, okay. So is Vanessa the business head of it all, or how does that work exactly?
So she is, I guess we both facilitate, we both teach our students. I just do more of the marketing strategy and kind of getting everything moving forward technologically, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah.
And yeah, we kind of we balance each other really well. She's the yin and I'm the yang.
Love it.
And yeah.
Well, sweet.
Yeah. So
I love
excited to talk to you, and
Yeah.
I'm excited about what you're up to as well.
I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely. It's the start of a journey. Same for you guys, it seems too, right? Because this is a pretty new venture. It looks like. I see that. I think Vanessa had an acupuncture / healing business that's running in tandem right now with all this, or do you do as well, or how does that work exactly?
Yeah, that's right. So she does acupuncture, and then we have our technique that we both use. So I do one-on-one sessions with people as well, but she's been doing it a lot longer, and she uses acupuncture within it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're pretty much teaming up. She's also my wife and business partner, and so
Oh, that's awesome.
we just launched this. Yeah, it's awesome. It's so exciting. Yeah, we just launched it last week, or this week, Monday. So it's all new. It's exciting. And
Wow.
like I said, I want
Yeah.
to make sure we stay in momentum.
Oh, that's absolutely exciting. How is your launch done so far exactly?
Like, financially, you mean?
Sure. I mean, yeah, as far as engagement and sure the financial numbers as well, if you're willing to share.
Yeah, totally. We're pretty open about it. It's kind of all over social media in a way.
Okay.
So for our first, we've we've had it. Doors have been open for 4 days, and we've gotten 4 pay-in-fulls, and that's
Wow.
at $2,000. So
Yeah.
that's 8. And then we've gotten a deposit for someone else who's joining, and so we only have room for 4 more students. So this is like our beta launch, and we didn't use any marketing. This is all warm market, and just basically the landing page must have been pretty good because it's obviously converting.
Yeah, no, that's
So-
fantastic. I saw you guys are doing a lot of stuff right. I mean, I saw you guys got Facebook pixels installed on the landing pages, which is good. I see you. Was it an 8 to 10 head count for the beta? How many did you want to have in
That's
your
right.
actual beta? Okay. Okay, cool. So that's amazing, and that's without running any Facebook ads or anything.
That's right, yeah.
Wow, way to go, Kelsey.
Thank you.
That's-
It's such an accomplishment. Like, oh.
No,
God.
that's incredible.
Thank
That's a high ticket class too. I mean, our course, that's amazing. Okay, so I did have a few questions for you guys, if you don't mind. So,
Totally.
first off, let's see. So, current methods of advertising has purely been just word of mouth at this point,
Yeah, pretty much on Instagram.
and Instagram. Okay, have you gotten any people actually converting through Instagram?
I'm pretty sure all of our people are from Instagram.
That's so awesome. Okay, cool. So, through Instagram. And all these people, I noticed you had it stated that during Saturdays you guys were going to be doing like an actual practical in-house representation of what you guys are teaching in the course. Is that meaning that you're focusing this more towards people like within your area, or how is that working?
Yeah, for now, for sure. I feel like we can take this a few different ways, and we're open to seeing how it works out. But
Yeah.
for the beta, we just did it to locals, and
Okay.
then possibly, like, if we can get 10 people in Victoria that would want us to come and teach this, that's the dream. Like, for us to travel around and host these workshops, and
Yeah.
that's the dream.
That's great. There's definitely, you're not wrong. There's a ton of ways you could take this, and there's a ton of ways you could scale it too, way beyond even what it's at right now. I get that you guys are in beta, so that's totally fine. You guys are doing incredible already just by having just warm traffic through Instagram. That's incredible. So I definitely think that you guys could easily get to where you want to be and then some. Like I feel like there's a potential to scale this way beyond where you might even think it's going to be coming, because right now I could see you planting different seeds like around, whether it's Canada or even in the States, because I feel like you could get a lot of people there too. I mean, I don't know exactly the changes in the need for like alternative healing and stuff like that, but right here in the States right now, it's booming. Like, it's a big thing right now. People are extremely health conscious, and they're looking towards like alternative medicines and just alternative healing techniques. And I mean, there's definitely a market here. So I just don't want you guys to rule that out in the long term if that's what you're thinking. But
Totally. No, I feel like we'll travel all over. And like, we also want to build the Empowering Healers Academy as a brand where other people, like other healers who want to teach, they come underneath our brand as well. So it's just like this automated thing.
That's
You know,
perfect.
it's just a brand that has more branches underneath it as
yeah,
well.
it's
So
a straight up machine. That's perfect. Yeah. Absolutely. No, I'm excited for you right now. This is crazy. So let's see. Beyond this, so scaling wise, you'd like to like at least have this be a beta right now. Keep it within your local vicinity so you can actually teach these students hands-on. And then from there, you guys kind of want to scale it out to a point when you can kind of travel around and go to different locations where people would meet up. Is that kind of what you're thinking right now?
yeah, that's
Okay.
it right now. And like I was thinking, because when we teach it, we're gonna have like I want a videographer to come in and capture like specific moments that we can then turn around
Sure.
and use in our marketing strategy and just to build a following. So I think it's like I see all the moving pieces and I need someone to come in and like help us execute on it.
Absolutely.
So that I can still be a teacher and show up for these students. I'm not focusing on all the content management.
100%. Yeah, that's definitely what I'd want to be here to offer you guys. I mean, you guys should be focusing on where, you know the whole 80-20 rule, where you definitely should be focusing on your 20% that's going to net you the most results. And right now for you guys, that's doing what you do. That's helping these students. If I could step in and actually take care of all this for you, I'd be honored. But let's move on a little bit further and try to get a little more info on this. So I did have a few questions on your landing page. I noticed that video, by the way, is amazing. That first video was great on the landing page. Yeah, yeah. Oh no, it was fantastic. I got tingles just listening to it. So I did notice though that you had kind of insinuated a part of it that talked about not only this healing technique, but also like helping from an entrepreneurial perspective, like helping the business owners grow their own respective business. And then is that at all included in this course, or is that only going to be within your follow-up course that you were going to be making afterwards?
Yeah, so for the beta, all the students are getting both of them included.
Okay.
And then in the future, it'll be separate.
Okay, good. I was going to say, because that's a huge value proposition right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are providing a ton of value even for $2,000, especially if you're including a secondary course on how to grow their business. That alone could be a $2,000 course, no problem. So,
totally, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sweet. So that's good. That's good. So a few things I noticed that were great. I love your early bird enrollment. That whole creating urgency. That's a really big thing right now for getting those conversions. That video again was just phenomenal above the fold. So that was the first thing I saw for sure. I clicked that, and I was already very interested to see what the rest of you had to say. I did learn something interesting. I didn't know that enroll is spelled with one L outside of the States. Here in the States, it's like...
I know. That's so funny. We were struggling with that. I'm like, is it one or is it two? Because either way, it was putting the squiggle that I was spelling it wrong. So
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know.
My Word document was giving me the squiggles with the one L. So, I mean, it totally works. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it was interesting to find that out. I had no idea.
That's funny.
Yeah, so your testimonials were great. I know you can't obviously have testimonials of students yet because you haven't done the course, but your testimonials are fantastic. You could probably bring them up a bit more. I feel like testimonials could definitely be a bit higher because they're more towards the very bottom. And testimonials are pretty important on landing pages. But a few things that I did notice, if you don't mind me giving some critiques on the landing page. Sure. Okay. So a few things I noticed on your enrollment buttons. You've got about 4 clicks before they even get to the point when they can buy, when they're already kind of ready to buy, I would feel at that point. And I also kind of noticed your Square Up page that it leads you to. I don't know if it's something that can be fixed within the API of it, but it's not really congruent with kind of the aesthetic of the other pages. And that's just more of like a psychological thing. I'm not saying you guys have to change this at all, or like I would change it for you, but it doesn't really seem to match up with the rest of the landing pages. And there's also a lot of clicks they got to go through. I was curious because you guys run the pixels right now. I was curious if you could track where that fall off is typically when people come to this site, because I'm wondering how many people drop off around like the second or third click heading onto that inbox.
Okay, that is a good question. I have no idea. I don't even know, like, the whole pixel thing.
Yeah.
I also need someone to help us with that because I just put 1 pixel on there just to make sure that whoever comes in can look at those things, but I don't even, it just makes my brain melt. So,
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no
but
worries.
that is a thing. And we were having, like, a hell of a time figuring out how to hook up a payment page, because we would have liked it to be on the second page where it kind of gives a breakdown of everything.
Yeah.
And that was the idea, but we couldn't do it. We had to do it through Square. So in the future, I think that we could definitely, I agree, it could definitely be a lot more smoother and congruent.
Yeah. I agree too. We can still look into maybe fixing that in the near future. How embedded are you guys within the Square kind of ecosystem?
We are not.
Okay,
We just,
so there's
like,
no
set it
there's
up
no
out of
marriage there.
desperation.
Okay, good. Okay,
No.
okay. Shouldn't be too difficult then. Let's see outside of that. So
What platforms would you use?
I'm a big Stripe fan. So
Okay.
the nice thing about Stripe too is that you can actually tweak the API for you can basically tweak the way it looks so it can be completely conformative with like the rest of the aesthetic that you have, and that would help. And it also looks Stripe has like that kind of Web 2.0 nice look to it that kind of just kind of I don't know, it matches the pleasing look of the rest of your landing pages. So I feel like there'd be less friction there. I'm guessing I haven't seen any of the stats of on your analytics, but I would feel like you're going to get some drop off around this point because people have to click 4 to 5 times before they can even add the course to their cart, and that's after they've already clicked, hey, I'm ready to buy this. So yeah, that's just something to think about. Also,
Cool. I appreciate that.
yeah, no worries. And also, I did have a question, and this is not something that you actually have to do if you don't want to, but copy-wise, I noticed that you guys kind of made a big thing, very first thing about transparency, talking about how you've never done this before. I I would urge on the side of caution with that, and like kind of maybe tweaking it to talk about how um, you're being transparent about or you want to be transparent about your methods maybe, and that you've been successful healers and you just want to help others achieve that success, and that might be a different way to spin the transparency to where it doesn't look like you guys haven't taught it. And it's totally fine if you want to. Clearly you're getting conversions either way. So if we can lock people in for the beta with that either way, I'm not really worried about it. It was just something to maybe think about. But I would be more concerned about it if you guys weren't getting any conversions already. So
Totally.
Just
Yeah,
make-
I agree. I think it's almost like a reverse psychology, and this is actually a technique that I learned through Liz Denny. I don't know if you're familiar with her. She's a ClickFunnels 2 Comma Club winner.
oh, okay.
And she talked about this, and I was like, you know what, let's try it, because we haven't, and I want the students to come in with that like expectation that it might be bumpy. So I was like, I'm just gonna write it out.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah, the reason that I think it works for us is because we are like belligerently transparent, and that's
good.
what, like, we've gotten feedback where people are like, I just love your authenticity and your transparency. It's almost like refreshing. So I think for our audience, I think it worked in our favor, which is like, it's so fascinating to me.
No, that's fantastic. I mean, there's definitely something to be said about transparency. I don't think you would have been talking to me if I wasn't transparent about this whole thing from the get-go. So,
That's
yeah.
right.
No, I agree. I can definitely see that. And then the whole under-promise, over-deliver thing is really nice too. People come with tamed expectations. I'm sure you guys knock it out of the park when you teach them anyway. So, that's perfect. Okay. So outside of that, if you go to, like, when I click the first time and it goes to that second landing page, which all looks really nice, by the way, under your like additional bonuses that you have, I noticed that you guys have your, let's see, where does this here? It should be, oh no, under the actual course benefits themselves, it says the whole 6 months of post-graduation support. I think that's all awesome. I think you might be able to take even the Facebook group portion out of it and put like lifetime access to that and explain the importance of that, because it truly is like, and I'm a part of a few of these courses, not just Billie Jean, and by far the biggest benefit I think long term has been the community. So I mean, that's definitely something that you might even want to harp on for its own bullet point and give it like lifetime access, because sticking it under the 6-month category makes it seem, well, finite, and kind of lessens the value. I'm sure you're not going to be kicking people out of the group in 6 months. So just maybe something to think about. That's all. I'm just throwing it out there in the wind and, seeing what you think about it.
No, I think that's a good idea. I think because the Q&A opportunity and the monthly meetups, like we would have to, like people would have to graduate eventually,
Sure.
so that we wouldn't be right. But having a graduate group that they go into a Facebook group, that's one of our like under promise and over delivers that they're going to be going into. When they're complete with the 6 months, they still go into like another private Facebook group. It's like a secret group for graduates only.
Oh, okay. That's good. I think the main thing I meant for the group was just they don't actually know what you just told me. So if I'm someone that's ready to click to enroll, I doubt that's going to be the one thing to change my mind. But it's those little things that add up because they're making
Right.
a fairly big purchase at the end of the day here. For a lot of business owners, $2,000 is not a lot to ask for what you guys are providing, but I still think all those little tweaks, psychologically, subconsciously they might be thinking, okay, well, there's this and that and this and that, and it just might affect, their potential choice to buy at the end. But again, I'm just throwing this stuff out there for you.
No, I think that's a really good idea. Thank you for that.
No, you're welcome. So, right now you guys have the program cost at $19.97 with it switching over to $25.97.
That's so if they don't enroll by March, anyone who enrolls after March 30th is $25.97.
March 30th.
And then once we have this beta group and we have their testimonials and, it's all hyped up, because I want to, like, for example, when we're doing those live coaching calls, I want to take little fire clips like Billy does even, and put them on Instagram, and then, like, have an early bird enrollment for the next round. And so the next round, though, it's probably going to be $5,000.
Okay, and that's totally understandable. Yeah, you guys have every reason to be making this a high ticket item, especially if you guys are incorporating ways to get people business. I mean, that's fantastic. Are you going to be the one spearheading that whole part, or are you going to have people coming in for that, or how exactly is that working?
You know what? We're still figuring all of those details out.
Okay.
I'm going to do the majority of, well, it's kind of both, like, because Vanessa really knows how to get clients to come back, and she knows a lot of, like, the personal relations. I know a lot of, like, the things to say, the way to write, the way to present yourself on camera, like, those kinds of things.
Sure.
And then, but I like what Billy does, where he brings in experts. I think that would be really valuable, so we're still playing around with that.
Okay, cool. Well, sweet. So you have until the 43-day mark from now to be able to do that? Okay. So when is that? What day is that exactly?
April 26th is when the first portion of the program starts, and then it'll be May, or what would be June? It'll be mid-June when the actual business portion kicks in.
Okay, so first you're teaching this healing technique, and then you're going to be teaching the actual business portion mid-June?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
And part of the strategy that I would like to do is, because our Instagram following is quite low right now, but that seems to be where we have the most engagement.
Sure.
Because that's where people have enrolled from. So I would like someone to help us build our Instagram following. And then also for the people who didn't sign up on this round, they can still sign up for the Master Your Magnetism portion of the program.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I'm more than happy to help with the Instagram portion as well. I definitely think we should heavily look at Facebook as well, just because it's basically untapped. You have you have very little posts, obviously, on Facebook. It's a brand new page. So the organic growth doesn't really even have an opportunity to grow yet. And there's been no paid Facebook ads, so there's no way to really drive traffic to that page. So if we work together to create some Facebook ads, I can make them for you, get the copy set. Even that video that you guys have on the landing page is brilliant. I mean, we can figure it out from there. But if you can start, it'll be a little bit of a process, but if we can get going on making that ad, and then we can drive organic growth through the page to kind of get that, like, that social ethos going, you know what I mean? Where people can, like, they'll come to the page from this ad, and then they'll look on the actual page and see a bunch of engagement from people. That's a really big thing, because if people are coming to your Facebook page and they see crickets and nobody's really engaging or liking, or there's no post history or anything like that, no activity, it's, obviously gonna affect them to some degree. So yeah, but I would love to get Instagram up and going too, because clearly that's working for you guys. And then Facebook, I would definitely love to spend at least a decent amount on the Facebook ads, because I think you can get, honestly, probably more from Facebook. You just haven't really, ventured down that avenue yet, So
Right.
I am very curious, and the analytics will help a lot. It'd be easy to see kind of where everybody's falling off and being able to tweak your guys' funnel that way.
Cool.
Yeah. So,
And we're gonna need to set up a whole entire new funnel as well, like
oh,
on
okay.
on either Kajabi or ClickFunnels,
Okay.
whichever is better.
Sure. Yeah. I have more experience with ClickFunnels, but sweet. Do you guys have an email list run as well, or do you guys not have any of that set up currently?
We don't.
Okay. So I mean, it's not required, but it is nice, just for sometimes retargeting people that are already on the list. But we can figure all that out. But the main thing, yeah, definitely, I think we can boost up your Instagram page even more, get more engagement going through there. Did you pay it all for Instagram?
No, I just joined Jumper Media today, so they're doing like an algorithm hack for us,
Okay.
but not. Yeah, that's it.
Wow. That's
And
so
they
cool that
haven't
you
even
guys.
started yet.
Wow, good for you. That's incredible that you guys already got 4 students from just that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so moving forward from here, getting down to the numbers, how much are you willing to spend on ads exactly? Just overall across all platforms, like how much per month would you feel comfortable?
Well, I don't know, like, cause that's why I reached out to you about like if you do the content management kind of portion of it and the organic growth, because I don't know that we're ready to run ads, because we're not, like, the program doesn't even start until April 27th,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't want to run ads to fill this one, because it's going to fill organically. So the ads are more probably going to come in May is when we're going to need to start running them, so in like 2 months,
Okay.
to start filling up the second round.
Okay. And you're sure that you guys are going to be capped out at around 10 people? It seems low to me. I'm curious as to what your thoughts are on that.
Well, just because it's our first time,
Mhm.
and because it is in person, so we want to make sure, like, because it's not about the money for us right now. It's
Sure.
about making sure that we can deliver, like, as much as possible to these 10 students. And so that we can be really present and get feedback necessary, so that the second round, then we can open our doors to, like, maybe 16 or 20. And then it will gradually get larger, but I think for now, 10 is just like a comfortable number where we know
Okay.
we won't be like stressed or tapped out.
That's fair. I would kind of caution that, not caution so much, is that when it comes to trying to get organic traffic and growth on your respective social media platforms, generally paying for that is useful as well. Just because it's so hard nowadays to organically grow something without any sort of intentional way to get it in front of the audience. Because even with like Facebook nowadays, even if you have a large following on your page per se, and you don't spend any money on trying to get those organic posts with engagement and stuff within your Facebook page, it's going to have a super low reach compared to what it used to have years ago.
Right.
Years ago, you could have the page and you could just post whatever and it would have a huge engagement within your community, but that just doesn't really happen anymore. So I'm thinking long term here, you would still probably be better off at least paying to build up that social presence on your Facebook page or your Instagram or whatever. And that way, when it comes time to actually drop the course, like your real course, you're going to have this pool of people that you can actually do this with. You know what I mean? Otherwise,
Right.
you're going to be way behind when it comes time to launch the course, and you're just going to make it harder for yourself. So, one thing that we could do is we could run ads just to get that engagement within your community and to grow that community. And we could even offer them some kind of separate opt-in incentive, right? To where we can build up an email list, which is going to be huge now, knowing that what I know about this, because I didn't realize it was only going to be, this many people until that time, and you didn't want to run ads until then. So if we could build a separate opt-in incentive and get an email list growing, then that means when it's time to launch that course, you're going to have a huge list of people basically ready to buy, because they're all going to be on this course, and it's going to make your launch so much smoother and more effective. Otherwise, you're going to be fighting uphill trying to get this to happen months from now. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah. And okay, that makes a lot of sense. Because I don't want us to lose momentum. So
100%.
that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and this way it makes it. This is definitely the most efficient way to do it, because this way you guys are going to be. Growth is kind of like an exponential thing too. So if you guys start getting a lot of growth, and then people come to your page and start seeing that you have a lot of engagement, they're going to be way more likely to engage as well. And then hopefully, if we do this right, within a few months, you're going to have a very, very successful launch for your higher ticket item.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, so that's where we need help. Because I just get overwhelmed, honestly.
That's
Like that
fine.
video that you saw that we made
Yeah.
was like, I don't know how I pulled that off, but it just happened. But it's like to keep doing things like that, I just need someone to just tell me what to do. You know what I mean?
100%. I get what you mean. Hold on 1 second. I need to pause my recording and re-record real quick.
Second, if that's okay.
You're okay. No worries.
I feed my mastiff raw food, and I forgot to take it out. So.
No, you're okay. No worries. I have 2 dogs myself. I got a husky and a chow chow mix.
Oh, cute chow chow. Those are cute.
Yeah. She's a Shiba mix too, so she's got that little tail. It's pretty cute.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you feel about that exactly then? Now that we've kind of talked about that.
That feels good. Like I have anxiety. Like I'm really scared.
That's my job. I'm here to relieve that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's the whole fear of not being ready. But that's just a lie. So.
That's how launches go, and I mean that's never really gonna go away. When I was launching one of my courses that I had before, even when the course was done and ready and packaged and my funnel was done, I was still beyond anxious. But I was doing it all myself, which was probably, not helping.
Part of the problem.
Yeah. But yeah, that's definitely what I want to be here for you guys for. I want to help you take away that so you can focus all your energy into actually doing what you should be doing, which is making the course and making sure you're going to have the best product for your students.
So how does that work? Like, okay, I have quite a few questions for you, if I may.
Yeah, go for it.
So, in regard to, let's say I don't know, like we need to set up like an opt-in funnel.
Yeah.
Am I just gonna create the video or the webinar or whatever, and I hand it off to you, and you build everything out,
Sure.
or are you just running ads?
No, so this depends on what level of engagement you want me to have in this, of course. And depending on what you guys want and what you're okay with paying for, I'm more than happy to do all of it. I mean, as far as taking care of that, as long as you guys can provide me the content, because obviously I don't live in Canada. I won't be able to be your videographer as much as I would like to be. As long as you guys can provide me the content, I can build your funnels, your email lists, whatever you need, and we can go from there. My goal is to take as much off your plate as possible for stuff that you shouldn't be focusing on anyway. You know what I mean?
Okay, I like that. So, can you take videos? If I was to send you video, do you have that ability? Because if not, I can just hire a video editor. But do you have the ability to edit? Like, do you do that? Editing videos and making them?
I do. That was a little out of the scope of typically what I was expecting to do. But I mean, again, if you guys are willing, if you're willing to just pay a little bit more for that service, then sure, 100% I'll edit your videos for you. I've got the whole Adobe Premiere suite. I can hook it up on that. But again, yeah, my goal really is just to help you guys alleviate any stresses that you might have. So if that's a stressor for you right now, I mean, you know full well I have no other clients, so you're my focus.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does it look like? Well, okay. Is it possible for you to create like 3 different levels for us? Or like how does this look?
Define levels.
Almost like, okay, if you buy this package,
Oh,
for
a
this
package.
much, this is what you get.
Yeah, so I generally don't do the package thing because it definitely doesn't feel as bespoke that way.
Okay.
But I would love to work with you and try to figure out an offer to present you as far as all this stuff. I would need to have some clarity, I guess, on what exactly you guys want as far as whether it's just content production and ad management or, actually building out the funnels as well with the email opt-ins or doing the editing as well. So if you could provide me the clarity real quick, I can probably, give you a rough estimate of what it'd be looking like.
Okay. Okay, so to be clear, you would not, it's out of your scope to actually create, like, Instagram content.
No,
Right?
not necessarily.
If it is.
No, as long as you guys can provide me with the content, I can do the actual management and the content, like posting on the social media platforms. I'm okay with that. What I meant was if you guys were looking to like have a video edited, while that's typically outside of the scope of my digital marketing, services I can offer, I'm more than happy to do it for you guys. It would just cost a little bit more. That's all.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I think probably. Well, now I don't know. So because you opened my mind about what really is required here versus what I thought was required when I first got on the phone. Does that make sense?
Sure. As far as required for what to have a successful launch.
Like ad management and building up the like email list and like I just didn't think of that. I just thought we'll just build an Instagram following and then every time we launch, people will just sign up like they did.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, but if you really want to maximize the amount of ROI you can get out of this, you're gonna want to do all those things. And for the kind of high ticket item that you have here, especially how high ticket it's gonna be, you definitely want to do this because you're gonna have. I mean, you could very easily have a 6-figure launch day if you're talking about $5,000 like opt-ins, and we get enough of a actual audience here built up. Like that's not out of the question. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. You're pretty confident about this?
I'm pretty confident about it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then, okay, have you ever done the One Funnel Away challenge?
Oh, I have not. What's the One Funnel Away challenge?
Okay. That's with ClickFunnels. So I was just curious because you mentioned that you're more familiar with ClickFunnels. So
Yeah, I did use them. I used them initially a couple years past with one of my businesses. What exactly is the challenge?
they help you build a funnel in 30 days, and it's pretty epic. It's pretty valuable. It's like $100 to do the challenge.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I was just curious because that's all fresh in my mind. But I guess like, and I totally do not mean any harm like with what I'm just gonna like shoot it straight. It's like, how do we trust that you can fulfill this if we are your first client?
I get
You know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it is a tough thing. I mean, I do have experience doing this before with another business. outside of that, I mean, it is a tough thing. I mean, I've gone through all the learning. I've mastered what I need to know as far as Facebook ads, Instagram ad management, the content management thing I already had down on lock, and video management and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, as far as all that stuff, I get what you're saying. I do. But you know that you are my one person, so I will take every ounce of time that it does take. I'm a pretty big perfectionist. If you noticed on my first video, the quality was pretty decent. That's because I invested $9,000 into all this equipment just to get this up and running. So I don't focus, and I really focus on quality. That's a big thing to me, and I really am anal about this stuff. So you could know that even if I didn't know a minute thing about how to run this, I would go through and figure out how to do it, because I've already spent thousands of dollars outside of Billy Jean's course on how to do all this stuff. Because I want to make sure that I'm as invaluable as possible to my clients like you. And that's, ultimately what I want to do. I know that, at the end of the day, having these meetings and talking doesn't do any good if you can't get results. So that's why the biggest focal point that I had when I was going through training wasn't like the landing clients portion or the client acquisition. It was definitely more focused on how to provide results, because that's what's most important to me. And I know it's what's most important to you. Yeah. I mean, that's really all I have to say. Yeah.
Okay. So what's your offer?
So what exactly are we looking at here as far as what you want to have done service-wise?
Okay, so definitely I like where you're going with, I think ultimately I'll tell you what we need, and then you'll know what you have to do in the background to create that.
Yeah.
So building up brand awareness is going to be a big one, and expanding this brand bigger, which I'm assuming, right, you want to do with ad management.
100%.
So I believe that it would be really beneficial for Vanessa and I to have a webinar. So for you to drive traffic to that webinar and make sure that it's optimized. I've done a lot of marketing courses, so I know and I understand the psychology of certain things, and I feel like I'll be able to deliver solid content. I just don't want to be the one managing getting that content out there.
100%.
And managing the opt-ins. And do you like copywriting? Because
I do.
I can do it. Okay, I would rather you do it and be able to mimic my voice.
Sure.
And my style. My style of copy has always converted really, really well. And I have tried to hire people in the past, and it's just it just doesn't go well. So that would be like a test run.
Okay.
And we would see how that would go, because that's something that's really important to me, is portraying our voice and everything.
100%. And I totally agree. And I feel the same way. I'm very particular about the way that, just in general, I write things. So I guess just copy in general. So, but I will 100% try to mimic your style of copy. Is everything that's been on here so far, as far as your landing pages, is that all you? Or was that Vanessa as well? Or how did that work?
Every single thing you see there is me, except for the square. Vanessa put up that square checkout page because I was about to break some walls. I was about to throw my computer through a window because we were launching in 3 hours.
Yeah.
And so she figured that out.
Just need something quick and dirty. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. 100%. Yeah. I will. I have a pretty good command of the English language, and I do love copy myself. So I will definitely make sure to help you out with that. Okay. So outside of branding awareness, actual consulting as far as how to scale, and then driving traffic to webinars through Facebook ads, and helping with copy. Is there anything else that you would like?
I think if you could, if we could come up with strategic ways to get more, I guess it's just, the brand awareness.
100%. Yeah, a lot of that stuff is going to help drive that additional traffic, like you're talking about. Our goal right now is going to be to get you guys as much traffic as possible leading up to your launch, your official launch, so you can have a truly successful launch. That's the goal. Yeah.
Okay. So, like, hold on.
You're fine.
This is bad timing.
No, you're fine.
Just wait. Let me just go upstairs. I think it may be a Jehovah's Witness at my door. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm just gonna let Riley bark it out.
I like it. I can handle
Can you
it.
still hear me, or is she?
I can hear you perfectly clear.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. Remind me what we were talking about.
Okay, so I was just saying basically the most important thing in our focus right now, or my focus for you, is going to be just getting as much engagement and traffic over to you guys as possible.
Right.
Yes, I think a great way to do it, like you talked about, was a webinar. You generally want to have you heard of what an opt-in incentive is? I'm sure you have. So you generally want to have an opt-in incentive, preferably, like, let's say through your webinar, right? Let's say you're teaching some kind of a skill, maybe, I don't know, just a snippet of your program, or maybe talking about how to acquire customers, something that's valuable that people want to be a part of for that webinar. And then we can actually use that to convert it over to an email list. And then we can use that email list eventually, ultimately, to help with that launch, because we can actually have not just emails sent out when you guys are going to launch, but like you guys are doing right now, have all of your pre-launch stuff ready so you can build up that hype. And then we can have people kind of ready, via email just on its own front, to where it's like, okay, when it's launch time, they've got their finger on the button, they're ready to push. And we've helped build that rapport with everybody so far through your guys' content. And that's kind of the idea. You want to just get as much people to your site, and you want to get them comfortable with you guys and get them trusting you guys. So when you guys finally launch this course for a very large sum of money, there's going to be no question that they want to get in on that value.
Right. Okay. I like that. The other thing too is, like, for us, personality branding has worked really well for us, where I honestly, it might be because we're a gay couple.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but it's like people they want to know us. I know that I feel like that's just weird to say out loud, but that's,
No, for sure.
like, just taking feedback from our market, it's like people just want to be around us. And so I want to utilize that, because it's like, hey, this has worked for us for a long time, so I want to, like, if it's worked at a smaller scale, let's leverage that too, and almost have like a campaign to make people fall in love with us. It's just like, that sounds weird, but
No,
do you know what I mean?
I 100% know what you mean, and that's exactly what we'd be doing by doing a webinar. I mean, you two are very likable people. I can tell that very quickly before I even talk to you on the phone. You have that kind of way about you to where I think a webinar would be perfect, because it's going to give you more face time with people, and we can easily set it up to be an automated webinar that would play over and over eventually, so you can kind of remove yourself from that equation. And that way, you're not having to constantly do live webinars to, cater to people, because there are going to be people in different time zones for sure. And ultimately, down the line, I don't know, we'll figure that out, but ultimately you're going to want to probably have this be much bigger than just in Canada or the United States. You know what I mean? So, yep.
Yeah.
And just shooting from the hip, like, one small thing you could do is for your actual practical in-house sessions that we had talked about before that you guys were going to do, even if you guys are flying out to certain locations or having people come to you, if you could just video record that and have that be content for people that are very remote, then that's going to be a huge value for them as well. So don't think that you have to just rule out people in, like, vastly different time zones, like over in the UK or something, just because they won't be able to necessarily make it to your actual practical meetings, because there's still a lot to learn from having it, videotaped and broadcasted.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
And you'll make a ton more money.
Okay.
So there's that too.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, one of my questions in regard to like I guess like the content management piece, do you just like, would it be better for us to hire like a little social media manager? Would that be better? Someone who can help us build the personality brand away from the webinar and like more organically on social media? Because we don't post consistently, and I feel like if we did, that would be really helpful too.
Sure, as long as you guys can provide me with at least like photo and video content, and maybe some just direction as far as, you know, how you want to take, you know, various posts and stuff, then we can all work on that, and I'll happily do that for you. That's definitely part of what I do, right? So while your niche is a lot more, you know, specialized than like a restaurant per se, the concept is still the same, right? So as long as you can just provide me with kind of what I need to write out, and then I can run those by you if you'd like, just to see if the copy matches up and the content is good, and then we can go from there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Okay.
Okay. So I'll tell you what. So for this stuff, I mean, obviously this is a high ticket course, but you're not going to have, for a few months, you're not going to have a ton of people buying into the course outside of this immediate next group of people, which I'm sure you guys will fill up relatively quickly. I think, let's see here. I think if we do 1,000 per month with 500 ad spend, which for a high ticket item is fairly reasonable considering that's half the cost of one student. And then the 500 ad spend will actually get you pretty far. I mean, you can go pretty far with 500 ad spend just on trying to build that engagement traffic and getting those webinars going and building up that brand awareness to where a few months from now, it'll seem like a blip. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Okay, and then so what would the 500 ad spend be going towards?
That's stuff that we... Yeah, so the ad spend will be strictly going towards just running ad campaigns, whether it's through Facebook or Instagram. Now, I'd like to play around with Facebook a lot more than you've done already because you haven't done it yet. But we would still be running Instagram ads as well if you would like, just to you know, help with that. But I really do think a big focal point for you should be Facebook right now, just because of how targeted you can have it and what kind of reach you can have. And you can actually build a community on Facebook in a way that you can't really do with Instagram. And I think that communal aspect of what you guys do, I think that's really important. And I think that that is one big reason why we should focus and capitalize on Facebook.
Okay, I want to counter that with one thing.
Sure.
A lot of the people that have signed up and a lot of the people that follow us aren't on Facebook.
Okay.
It's like we have this weird little cult following on Instagram that doesn't show up as much on Facebook. So, but I'm sure we could still build one on Facebook.
Yes.
I'm sure we could.
I'm sure you could. Yeah, it might be that way just because of you might only be seeing that because that's kind of the platform you've only focused on so far. But I guarantee you there are a ton of people in your niche that could be directly served by what you have to offer, by just that are on Facebook. I guarantee it. And it really does help for you as well because it transitions into like having your course on or having your community aspect on Facebook. Like that's just an easy transition for them as well because they already have Facebook. They're already ready to hop in the mastermind group, or whatever you want to call it for your Facebook group. And then it's just one additional step your Instagram followers will have to do. But I'm sure if they're spending $2,000 to $5,000 on a course, they won't mind making a Facebook account just to be part of a super valuable community.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I think 1,000 a month with 500 ad spend is, like, I feel like that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else that you've left out? Is there any lack of clarity that you have as far as any of this stuff? I mean, I'm more than happy to shed some light.
I think the only thing that I need, if it's okay with you, is for you to write it out in a way that's very visual for me to see.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, like just have it like totally broken down. I will still share it with Vanessa. I just get good vibes from you though.
Same.
Like I just feel good. Like I actually can speak very openly, and I like that. I trust you. So
Thank you, Kelsey. I appreciate that.
yeah. I don't think I have I might have specific questions come up later tonight.
Okay.
But otherwise, if you can just send a detailed breakdown of really exactly what you'll be doing.
100%.
Because then I'll know if
I'll,
there's anything else I feel like I need.
Okay, I'll draft it up tonight and I can get it to you by tomorrow. If you have any questions at all tonight, just hit me up. You can call me, text me, hit me up on Facebook, whatever you want. If Vanessa has additional questions, just let me know and we can iron it out before the contract, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Adam. I'm stoked.
Thank you, Kelsey. Yeah, no, this is great. I appreciate it. It's gonna be great. You okay with me posting this on YouTube, right?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Okay, all right, you rock. We'll talk soon.
Okay, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.